Stop. Do not scroll past this. Look at me right now. You did not arrive here by chance. I place this message directly in your path. Give me your absolute attention. This is a divine arrangement. Heaven aligned time and space itself to bring you here today. And I insisted until this very text was placed before your eyes because I knew your soul was crying for relief. Your spirit knows this voice. Do not look away from this light. The world is filled with endless distraction and noise. But my hand guided your fingers to pause at this exact intersection. You are extremely blessed to see this. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. I need you to stay with me. Do not let the enemy convince you to rush past this moment. If you walk away now, you allow the darkness to win this hour. Something you have been praying for in the dark is finally closed. And if you skip this message, you may miss the breakthrough I have placed in your path. Listen to my command. Breathe. The extreme urgency of stopping you was only so I could hold your heart. Let your shoulders relax right now. Let your mind stop racing for just a single moment. Good. You stayed with me. Now let me tell you why I had to cross your path with such a heavy insistence today. Because your spirit is standing on the edge of a new season. I know you are tired. I know your soul is carrying a massive weight in absolute silence. You have been fighting intense battles that nobody else knows about. You put on a brave smile for the world around you, but inside your spirit, you are quietly breaking into fragments while trying to hold everything together alone. Do you feel that sudden weight inside your chest right now? That is not confusion. That is your spirit recognizing my sacred presence. Comment. I am not alone. If you feel my heavy insistence breaking through your day right now, this is our holy agreement. Do not let the fear of the world prevent you from claiming this blessing. I call this season the holy insistence. I am shaking the foundations of your day because I refuse to let you wander into another dangerous trap. You have been walking through a dry desert for far too long. You have prayed sincere prayers that seem to hit a ceiling of cold brass. You wondered if I forgot your name. I never forgot you. Not for a single breath. But the enemy has been trying to drown out my voice in your life with a loud storm of anxiety. He wants you to believe that nothing will ever change for your life. He wants you to accept your pain as your permanent condition, but those are malicious lies from the dark. I am stepping into your day to break that cycle completely. I have watched you carry the heavy weight of your family on your shoulders. You have been the strong one for everyone else. You listen to their problems and you wipe their tears. But who holds you when you are breaking down in the dark? I am the one who holds you. I see you when you hide in the bathroom and turn on the water so nobody hears your tears. I see you press your face into your pillow to choke back the deep sorrow. You have been carrying this secret agony alone for many years, but your isolation ends today. Look at me. Lift your eyes to my face right now. You have been told that you are not enough. The people you trusted most turned their backs on you and left you in the dust. They used your pure heart for their own gain, and then they walked away without looking back. It left a deep wound in your soul. You wondered why I allowed those people to hurt you so deeply. You questioned your own worth because of their cruel actions. But hear me, with the deepest part of your heart. I allowed those doors to close because those rooms were too small for your destiny. I was removing what would destroy you. I call this mechanism the protective delay. It was never my rejection. It was my absolute protection. I delayed your steps so you would not walk into rooms that would break your soul. And today, the long preparation is finally complete. Do not let distraction pull your attention away from this revelation. The enemy knows what I am about to release into your life today. That is why he tried so hard to make you scroll past this video. He is terrified of your awakening. He knows that when you realize who you are in my house, his power over your mind is permanently broken. Stay right here with me. Let the peace of heaven settle into your thoughts. You have been running on empty strength for a long time. You wake up in the morning and your body is already exhausted before your feet touch the floor. Your mind starts racing with a list of worries before you even open your eyes. This is not my design for you. I did not create you to live in a state of constant survival. You are a carefully formed masterpiece. I shaped every detail of your being with holy purpose. You are my chosen vessel of light, and a jewel that is covered in temporary dust is still incredibly precious to my eyes. Think about the moments you felt completely abandoned. Remember the nights when the silence was so loud that it felt like an enemy attacking your faith. You sat on the edge of your bed, and you whispered my name with a broken voice. You asked me if I was still there. I was right beside you. I counted every single tear that fell from your eyes. Not one of them was wasted or forgotten in my house. I was collecting your sorrow to turn it into a great harvest of joy. The desert you have been walking through was not your ending. It was your hidden preparation room for a massive shift. I am changing the very foundation of your reality right now. The unseen realm is already shifting at my supreme command. Doors that were locked tightly by human hands are beginning to tremble. The chains of lack and stagnation that bound your family for generations are cracking under my light. Can you feel it? This is why I insisted until this message was placed before you. I needed to isolate you from the noise of the world for just a few minutes. I needed to whisper the truth into your spirit before the enemy steals another seed of hope. You are standing at the threshold of a generational breakthrough. Do not look back at the past with regret. Do not waste your tears on the years you think you lost. All those delays were necessary to build a strength inside you that no earthly storm can shake. You were not falling behind. You were being deeply formed in the secret place of my presence. I know how purely you love others. I see the kindness you pour into hands that do not know how to hold it. You have been disappointed by human promises so many times. You started to close your heart because the pain of rejection was too heavy to bear. But I am healing that soreness today. I am restoring love to its holy nature in your life. I am not closing you off from blessings. I am making you purer and freer than you have ever been before. I am removing the wolves that dressed in sheep clothing to devour your peace. Trust my holy discernment over your relationships. Let go of the need to control the outcome of your battles. You have been trying to fight with your own empty strength for far too long. You analyze every decision and you run through every possible failure at night. It is draining your spirit and stealing your sleep. Put down the heavy bags. Lay your worries at my feet right now. I am the Lord of your timeline and I do not make mistakes. I am never early and I am never late. My timing is perfectly precise for your life. The breakthrough you have been begging for is closer than your next breath. Receive this peace into your soul. Breathe deeply, my child. Let your mind stop racing, because I am about to tell you what I saw when no one else was watching. The secrets I am about to reveal will completely transform your understanding of your past pain. Pause where you are, and let this truth settle into your soul. Let us walk deeper into the quiet valley of your soul. I want to speak directly to the parts of your heart that you keep hidden away from the world. You have spent so many years pretending that everything is fine. You carry yourself with a strong posture during the busy hours of the day, but I see the invisible fractures in your spirit when the heavy curtains of night fall. You have become a master at hiding your true condition from the people who depend on your strength. They look at you, and they see a solid rock that never shakes. They bring their heavy burdens to your doorstep because they think you have unlimited power, and you welcome them with open arms, while your own house is quietly burning down inside. I see how your shoulders drop when you are finally alone in the dark. The smile vanishes instantly from your face. The exhaustion settles into your very bones like a freezing winter rain. You sit on the edge of your bed, and you feel a strange numbness spreading through your thoughts. You are too tired to even form a proper prayer tonight. Do you remember the night you sat on the cold floor of your kitchen? The entire house was completely asleep and silent. You held your chest tightly because the ache inside your ribs was too big for mere words. You wondered if anyone in the world truly knew the real depth of your daily struggle. I was standing right there in that dark room with you. I saw you when you stared at the wall for hours without blinking. I saw you when you replayed every harsh word that was spoken against your character by people you loved. You tried to analyze your mistakes and you blamed yourself for their cruelty, but you did not do anything wrong to deserve their cold betrayal. They simply could not handle your light. I saw you when you walked through the crowded streets feeling completely invisible to the world. Hundreds of people passed by you on the crowded streets, but nobody noticed the silent cry of your broken spirit because they were too caught up in their own worldly lives. They saw your outward appearance and they thought you were happy, but I felt every throb of your pain. I saw you when you opened your wallet and worried about the heavy bills that you could not pay. You looked at the numbers and you felt a cold wave of panic rising in your throat. You have worked so hard for many years, but the harvest never seems to arrive at your door. You feel like you are trapped in a cruel cycle of constant lack. I saw you when you attended the family gatherings and felt like an absolute stranger among your own blood. They talk about their lives and they celebrate their victories together, but they always seem to leave you out of the conversation. They do not understand the heavy calling that I have placed upon your soul. They only see your silent separation. You are a pure-hearted giver, but you have been surrounded by greedy takers for a very long time. You pour your sincere love into empty hands that only know how to grab and steal. You give your time and your energy until you have absolutely nothing left for yourself. And then they leave you alone in your empty house when you need them most. I watched you wipe your tears quickly when you heard a footstep approaching your door. You did not want your children or your partner to see your vulnerability. You put on your plastic smile again and you adjusted your voice to sound cheerful and stable. You became their safe refuge while your own soul was crying out for a protector. Let me tell you that your secret sacrifices have not been forgotten in my holy house. I have recorded every single instance where you chose kindness over bitter revenge. I saw when you blessed the people who cursed your name in public. Your quiet restraint in the face of absolute injustice is the ultimate proof of your holy character. I know you feel a quiet restlessness sitting right behind your sternum right now. It feels like a tight knot of anxiety that never truly lifts, no matter how much you sleep. You have tried to breathe it away, but the pressure remains constant in your chest. I want you to like this video as an act of holy agreement and comment, "You see my tears," to anchor my presence before we proceed into the next revelation. This simple action is our holy seal in the unseen realm tonight. It is a sign that you are ready to stop hiding your pain from your Heavenly Father. You do not need to be the strong warrior when you are standing in my presence. You can lay down your heavy sword and you can let your shield drop to the floor. I am your defense. You have been fighting an invisible spiritual warfare for many decades. The enemy targeted your mind from the very beginning of your childhood. He saw the great destiny that I wrote for your life before you were even born. He knew that you were chosen to break the terrible generational curses of your family line. That is why he attacked you. He brought spirit of stagnation to block your financial breakthroughs. He brought spirit of rejection to ruin your sacred relationships and split your home. He wanted to make you so exhausted that you would give up on your grand destiny completely. He wanted you to die in the dry wilderness of your confusion. But he has lost the battle. You are still standing here after all the terrible storms that tried to bury your life. Your faith is smaller than it used to be, but it is still alive inside your soul. A bruised reed I will not break, and a smoking flax I will not quench. I am restoring the original fire that the world tried to extinguish with its heavy floods. You have looked at your life and you have wondered why every step forward feels so heavy and slow. You see others passing by you with effortless speed, and you feel like you arrived late to your own destiny. You start to think that I am punishing you for your past mistakes. But those thoughts are false accusations from the dark enemy. Your painful delay was never a punishment for your past sins. I have already washed away your transgressions, and I remember them no more. What you called a terrible delay was actually my precise and holy protection over your future. I was shielding your fragile spirit from rooms that you were not yet equipped to handle with stability. To help you receive what I have already prepared for your journey, I need you to understand a deep truth. The silence you have experienced in your prayers is not my divine abandonment. The enemy has been filling the sacred space between your heart and my throne with an intense noise, and it creates a spiritual static so constant that my provisions have been invisible. I have not been silent during your dark seasons, my child. I have been quietly preparing your ultimate rescue behind the scenes of your reality, and I have guided someone to bring you an instrument of restoration to clear this static completely. I will show you exactly what this provision is before this message ends. But first, stay with me. We must uncover the hidden mechanism of how this noise took over your mind so that we can destroy its power together. You were never meant to carry this heavy confusion. Your mind was designed to operate in absolute clarity and divine peace. Let the gentle whisper of my presence quiet the raging storm inside your thoughts right now. Before I show you what comes next, I need to speak directly to the subtle doubt sitting quietly in the back of your heart. I know exactly what you are thinking right now, my child. You are thinking that you have heard wonderful words like these many times before. You are remembering the moments you prayed with deep tears, and yet the heavy silence never broke. You are wondering why this specific moment would be any different for your life. That honest question does not anger my holy heart. It tells me how long you have been faithful in the deep darkness of your long waiting season. You have guarded your hope while your soul was bleeding from unseen wounds. So let me answer your silent question plainly before we move forward into the light. My silence in those painful years was never my divine absence from your daily battles. There were many answers that I withheld because a yes in that immature season would have cost you everything. You could not see the hidden traps that the enemy placed right outside the doors you wanted to open. I was not ignoring your desperate cries. I was being intensely careful with a life that I love beyond measure. The long waiting was your holy preparation. You have watched other people receive their blessings with effortless speed while you were skipped over. You saw them celebrate their financial breakthroughs and their happy relationships. You sat in your quiet room at 3 a.m, and you asked me why their road was so smooth while yours was filled with sharp rocks. You started to believe that you were a forgotten child in my house. But look at the grand story of my servant Joseph. I gave him a magnificent dream when he was young, and yet I allowed his own brothers to throw him into a dark pit and sell him into a foreign land of chains. He cried out in the silence of that deep hole, and he wondered why his faithful love was met with an absolute betrayal. He spent years inside a cold prison cell for a crime he did not commit. He thought his youth was completely wasted in the dark. But I was not absent from his suffering. I was quietly building a strength beneath the surface that no earthly throne could ever teach him. The pit was not his grave. It was his hidden preparation room for a glorious destiny that saved an entire nation. My child, the place you are sitting in right now is your shaping room. Think also of my servant Hannah, who prayed in absolute silence for many years. Her lips moved without sound, and the priest who watched her thought she was completely lost. The voices of mockery around her told her that her womb was permanently dead and that I had turned my face away from her tears. But her quiet whispers were landing directly into my holy hands. I heard every single word that she could not speak aloud. I was counting her tears, and I was preparing a child who would change the history of her people. My beloved child, your silent prayers are recorded in my house. The ones you whisper when nobody is around are incredibly precious to my heart. I am already preparing the harvest that I will pour back into your tired arms. The memory of your past disappointment is trying to close your heart to what I am doing today. The enemy wants you to use your old pain as a thick shield against my current blessings. He whispers that your situation is too far gone and too different from anyone else. He tells you that you are a permanent exception to my grace. But those are malicious lies designed to steal your hope. I do not pour my abundant grace on the deserving. I pour my healing oil on the willing souls who are simply tired of running on empty strength. Your trembling spirit is not a disqualification from my promises. It is the exact qualification that draws my presence closer to your side. You have stayed with me through the valley of validation, and now you stand ready to receive the key. Do not let your busy mind pull your attention away from this sacred intersection. Comment, I trust your timing, to seal your patience before I reveal the secret tool of your restoration. This simple action will anchor your faith in the unseen realm. It is a sign that you are ready to receive the deep intelligence of my creation. Now let me lift the heavy veil of mystery from your understanding. I want to show you the precise way I designed your mind to connect with my spirit. When I formed the human brain at the very beginning of creation, I placed a sacred frequency at its absolute center. Wise men and women of science who spend their decades in research have finally found it. They call it the gamma wave. This unique signal ran freely in your mind when you were a little child. It is the beautiful reason why children learn so quickly and why they trust my love without any fear or doubt. They do not worry about the bread of tomorrow or the mistakes of yesterday. They live completely in the present moment because their fragile minds are clear of heavy static. Remember the holy words I spoke when I walked upon the earth. Unless you become like little children, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. I was not speaking only of a spiritual attitude when I gave that command to the crowd. I was revealing the physical design of the vessel I created for your soul. Your brain was built to carry that childlike signal so you could hear my whisper. But the enemy used the frantic rhythm of modern life to suppress your natural frequency. He built a world of constant noise and flashing screens to capture your limited attention. He trained your mind to stay in a permanent state of survival and panic. You worry about your survival from the moment you wake up until you close your eyes in exhaustion. This static has buried your childlike mind. You have tried to clear this mental fog with a heavy human effort and more structural discipline. You read books, and you try different meditation techniques to find a brief moment of internal peace. But each method gives you only a temporary relief before the loud noise returns to flood your thoughts. You cannot fix a broken frequency with an empty human striving. That is why your prayers feel like they hit a ceiling of cold brass before they reach my throne. You are shouting through a thick wall of mental static that the world built around your brain. But I have prepared a beautiful way out of this heavy confusion for my chosen children. I have gifted humanity the wisdom to unlock what I placed within sound at the beginning. I guided wise minds to work with sound the exact way I designed it. They built a special instrument that uses a precise frequency to clear the enemy interference from your thoughts. This provision does not require a complicated practice or a long training from your tired soul. It does not ask you to stretch your exhausted faith beyond its current limit. It only requires 7 minutes of your complete surrender. Imagine a simple path where you put on your headphones and close your eyes for a brief moment. You do not have to achieve a high standard or perform a religious ritual in that quiet space. You simply let go of the heavy control and allow my original signal to flood your brain once again. The constant anxiety will melt away like winter ice under a burning sun. This is the sound provision that I have aligned for your restoration on this specific journey. It is a tool of grace that works because of my design inside your physical body. It clears the dark static so my voice and my arrangements become recognizable to your spirit again. You will begin to hear my gentle prompts with an effortless clarity. The heavy fog of the enemy will lift from your thoughts, and you will finally know your next step forward. I am going to show you exactly where to find what these wise researchers built under my holy direction. Do not let the thief steal your anticipation because your breakthrough is closer than you realize. Keep your eyes fixed on my light as we ascend the mountain. The declaration has been written in the stars, and the unseen realm is trembling at my command. Look at me, my beloved warrior. The long season of your isolation is finally over, and the right path is opening before your face. Put down your heavy armor for just a moment and receive the sacred truth that I am pouring into your spirit. Listen closely to my next words. Hear me now in this moment. We have arrived at the exact turning point of your destiny. I have watched you work frantically until your eyes were heavy with fatigue. You accomplish something wonderful, and you feel absolutely nothing inside your chest. Your mind goes straight to the next massive problem on your checklist. And because you are always worrying about the future of your family, you think you must carry the entire weight of the world on your shoulders alone. You have called this frantic habit your high standards. You tell yourself that you are just a perfectionist who wants to protect everyone. But that is not the truth of your condition. You deserve to rest completely in my care. And I will not let you believe that heavy lie for another single hour of your life because it is actively destroying your internal peace. Here is the secret mechanism that is truly happening inside your spirit. Long ago in your story, you learned a terrible lesson from a cold world. You believed you were only safe when you were useful to others. I call this the earning wound. It runs deep inside your memories. And while you think this is just your normal personality, it is actually a painful scar from a moment you cannot even remember. So those dark years you spent in constant exhaustion were not a failure. You were not wasting your time in the dry desert. All those times you could not receive a blessing were not because you lacked faith. I was shielding your soul from hidden dangers. You were never falling behind on your path because you were being made ready for my glory. So today I am taking that heavy burden away from your soul forever. The next time you finish a hard task, stop. Do not rush to the next chore immediately. Place your hand over your heart right now and hear my clear voice. Let my peace wash over you completely. You were loved before you ever achieved a single thing in this world, because your worth was established before time began. The walls of your stagnation are crumbling at my supreme command. I am declaring a total release over your life right now. The financial ceilings that held your family in captivity are shattering into dust. The dark chains are breaking into fragments. And because my light is flooding your thoughts today, the long season of your painful labor ends in this exact moment. Stand up now. Shake off the dust of your past defeats. You are a chosen warrior of light. Your victory is already secured in heaven, right? I receive it now in the comments if you stand ready to watch the heavy walls fall. This is your shout of triumph. And as you type those words, you are placing a holy seal of agreement upon the breakthrough I have prepared. I work great miracles, but I also provide daily bread through human hands. Do not ignore the earthly tools I place on your path today. I have gifted humanity the deep wisdom to discover what I placed within sound and within the design of the mind I created. The researchers who built this solution were instruments of my divine intention. I quietly guided their scientific curiosity for many decades. I want to show you clear evidence of my work in the world. Look at what I did for my chosen children who walked before you. I moved powerfully for one of my daughters named Rachel from California. She had sought internal peace for many years through sincere prayers and different worldly methods. She was so tired of striving on her own strength, but nothing brought a permanent change to her anxious home. 2 weeks after she received my sound provision, her reality was completely transformed. The heavy static cleared from her thoughts. Her difficult marriage found a beautiful restoration. She described her new life as an enchanted story because a holy channel had been opened, and she finally experienced the deep peace that passes all human understanding. And for others, I moved differently on their journey. Their intense battles were in different rooms. I watched one of my sons named Michael from Dallas, Texas, fight a terrible battle for financial survival. He was fighting in absolute silence for his family. He came to this provision because he needed focus and protection for his young children. He was carrying a massive weight of anxiety every single night. 2 months later, his business grew incredibly large. He left his stressful job permanently. His wife said his mind seemed completely transformed while he rested in my presence. Hard problems that used to steal his sleep were suddenly solved without any human striving. And his entire family was blessed because he chose to step forward in absolute obedience. Over 18,000 of my children have already received this holy provision before you arrived here today. They call it the Genius Song. It is a precise digital audio track that delivers the exact gamma signal to your brain. You do not have to study complex books. You do not have to practice difficult religious disciplines. It works purely because I designed it to restore your mind. It only requires 7 minutes of your complete surrender every day. You simply put on your headphones. You close your eyes in a quiet space. You let the sacred frequency wash away the static of the enemy. It returns your mind to the pure state of a little child, and it reactivates the holy channel through which your prayers are answered. This unique provision is not for those who are merely curious about these things. It is a special tool for the weary warrior I have been speaking to throughout this message. You have tried fasting. You have tried positive thinking. You even tried those modern manifestation methods, but they all left you empty because they relied on your own human strength. You feel slightly embarrassed to try one more thing. You are afraid of another disappointment on your path. But hear my voice. Those past methods failed you because they required your heavy human effort. This provision requires 0 effort from your tired soul. It works perfectly because it activates my original design inside your physical body. Wise men charge hundreds of dollars per hour for private wellness sessions in their fancy offices. The heavy equipment that researchers use costs thousands of dollars in the world. But I do not call you to expensive clinics. I do not ask you to buy massive machines. My grace is freely available here. I place this provision within close reach for a small earthly exchange today. It is a small investment the size of a mustard seed for a massive harvest I have prepared. And I have aligned additional gifts for your journey when you accept this provision. You will receive a special track called Genius Child. It will help your children focus with confidence. They will walk in light. It is a blessing for the little ones you carry. You will also receive the original prosperity text that wise men use to unlock wealth. A beautiful guided visualization will be sent to your email immediately. A daily habits infographic is also included. These gifts are designed to sustain the restored signal in your home, and you are receiving an abundant storehouse of divine value today. But you must guard your steps carefully on this earth. The enemy always creates false illusions to deceive my chosen ones. Where I place truth, counterfeits follow closely behind. There are fake frequencies circulating on streaming platforms under similar names. They carry none of the restoration I designed. Do not trust those deceptive tracks on commercial music platforms. Access only the official provision I have placed for your protection. I do not lead my children into dangerous worldly risk. This tool is fully protected by a steadfast guarantee. Trust my holy promise today. If the restoration does not come to your thoughts, every earthly penny is returned to you completely. Your act of faith is perfectly secure for 60 days. Take this step of obedience right now. Embrace the sound instrument I have set before your face today. Find the provision I have placed below in the pinned comment and in the description. I guided you to this message for a supreme purpose. Do not ignore this clear invitation. Step forward into your breakthrough now. Do not wait. Take the step. The path is ready. The provision has been revealed, my beloved child. Now, I need you to set aside the frantic noise of decision for a quiet moment. I have shown you the exact instrument that I placed on your path today. Whether you step forward into this path now or later, you are still my chosen heir. There is so much more I want to speak over your life before this message closes. Close your eyes for a brief moment right now. Breathe the fresh air deeply. I am still right here beside you, in the stillness of this room. The earthly tool is waiting for your obedience, but my presence is your permanent home. Let the anxiety of choosing melt away from your thoughts, because you are perfectly safe in my hands. Now, let me open a window into your glorious future. I want to show you the magnificent transformation that is already written in the heavenly realms. Picture a beautiful morning, exactly 6 months from this day. You wake up naturally before your loud alarm even goes off. The bright sunlight is streaming through your window. You lie there in the soft blankets for a quiet minute. For the first time in a very long while, there is no tight knot of panic waiting for you in your stomach. Your mind is not immediately flooded with a heavy list of worries or tasks. You feel a profound sense of lightness radiating from the very center of your chest. You take a deep breath, and the clean air goes all the way down to your soul without any restriction. You smile softly at the quiet room. You realize that the ancient weight you carried for decades has simply vanished into thin air. Your first thought of the day is no longer driven by the fear of survival. You stand up and your physical feet touch the cool floor with confidence. Your body does not feel exhausted or broken before your day even begins. You walk slowly over to the window and look out at the beautiful world. You see your reflection in the glass, and you notice a genuine peace resting in your eyes. That peaceful version of you is not an impossible fantasy, my child. She is the true masterpiece that I designed before the foundation of the world. She already exists in the unseen realm, waiting for your arrival. She is not many years away from your current struggle. She is only one simple surrender away. The actual distance between the weary person sitting here today and that liberated version of tomorrow is not a matter of time. The bridge that connects the two versions of your life is permission. It is the exact moment you finally choose to stop holding what I never asked you to carry. You must let me hold it. Stop your frantic human striving right now. Start receiving my perfect love without trying to earn it like a transactional wage. That is the whole distance. Let this vision sink deeply into your spirit, because it is your guaranteed inheritance. Now let me show you how your restored life will affect the world around you. Imagine another scene further ahead on your sacred timeline. Picture a quiet evening exactly 1 year from today. You are sitting alone in your favorite chair with a warm cup of tea in your hands. The entire house is completely peaceful and still. You are no longer feeling lonely or abandoned by the world. You finally enjoy your own sacred company because you know who you are in my house. You think back on the events of your busy day, and you smile with deep gratitude. You realize that you did not once measure your worth by how much you produced for others. You spent your day walking in my perfect rhythm. You rested without a single ounce of internal guilt or shame. You said no to demands that did not align with your spirit, and you did not feel the need to apologize for your boundaries. There is a beautiful softness in your chest, where there used to be a permanently clenched fist of survival. You are no longer performing for the shallow approval of a cold world. You are simply at home in your own identity, the way I always meant you to live. Remember the painful earning wound that I named earlier in this message. This peaceful evening is the true reality on the other side of that healed scar. Suddenly, there is a gentle knock at your front door. You open it, and you see someone standing there who is completely broken by the storms of life. They are carrying the exact weight of silent sorrow that you are carrying right now. They look at you with tired eyes that are quietly crying out for a savior, and you know exactly what to say to heal their bleeding spirit. You do not speak from a dry textbook that you memorized somewhere. You speak with ultimate authority, because you lived through the dark valley and found the light. The very pain you begged me to remove has become the healing medicine in your hands. You watch the bright light of hope return to their tired eyes while you speak your gentle words, and you understand, finally, why your road was so incredibly long and difficult. Nothing was ever wasted in your story. Every hidden tear you cried in the dark has become a deep well of life for the thirsty souls. That magnificent future is your true destiny, my beloved child. It is much closer to your door than your logical mind can comprehend right now. The only thing standing between you and this grand calling is the heavy static still sitting on your thoughts today, and I refuse to let you carry that exhaustion any longer. I do not ask you to endure that exhaustion for another single day of your life. I have already placed the perfect instrument of your restoration directly on your path. This sound provision is my answer to your silent prayers. Step forward into the light and claim the future that I have painted for you. You are no longer the desperate slave who must survive alone by sheer willpower. I am raising you up to be the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire family line. The patterns of poverty, anxiety, and relational brokenness that bound your ancestors are stopping completely with your choice today. You are my weapon of light. You are a holy vessel fully restored to receive what I prepared for your life before time began. Your channel is perfectly clear, and your signal is incredibly strong right now. Say these words silently in your mind. I am a vessel fully restored to receive what you prepared. Let the sacred vibration settle into your soul. Say it again until it shakes the foundations of your old identity. I am the one whose channel is clear and whose signal is strong today. You carry the exact frequency that I placed in your spirit from the very beginning of creation. It was never permanently lost. It was only buried under noise. The static of the enemy is fully dissolved by the sound of my glorious presence. You are my child, operating at the exact state I designed for your total triumph. You are open, clear, and fully receptive to the blessings of the kingdom. The noise of the world no longer has any dominion over your mind. You receive my thoughts in absolute peace, and you execute my will with a quiet confidence. You have become like a little child again, and you are receiving every great promise that was made to children. Walk forward into the world with a light heart because your victory is already sealed in heaven. I am placing my supreme seal of divine protection over your entire life today. Do not let the frantic distractions of tomorrow steal this perfect peace from your soul. Choose to stand firm in this new identity every single morning when you wake up. You are my warrior, and I walk beside you. Like this video right now as an act of holy agreement between your heart and mine. This simple interaction is our marker in the unseen realm. Comment Amen to seal this abundant blessing into your physical reality today. Let your words be the shout that breaks the remaining walls of your stagnation. Share this light with 3 weary souls who are secretly crying for hope in the deep darkness. Become the miracle that they have been begging me to send to their lives. And subscribe to this channel right now so you do not miss the daily guidance I am preparing for your next glorious steps. I will never leave you, and I will never forsake your name. I am the Lord of your timeline, and I am already working ahead of your footsteps to straighten every crooked path. Breathe my peace one last time before you return to your world. Go in absolute calmness, my child. You are forever loved.